Shalom, shalom. All praise due to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's your brother Mikael Ben Israel coming at you from the walls of Jericho. If y'all in the group, I hope y'all tune in with me. Check this out real quick. This one ain't going to be that long. I know I say that every time, but then again, I don't know where it's going to take me. But my intentions is not for it to be that long. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm going to go out and get some air. But it was on my spirit, literally on my spirit, this morning to deal with something. I kind of had a real peaceful spirit this morning. I kind of got vexed for one reason or another. But right after I got vexed, before I decided to log out of Facebook, because it was just my news feed, it was too much going on, you know, whatever. And I remember a couple of days ago, I was in this group called 30 and Up. And they just be in there talking about all kind of stuff, you know, just regular social stuff or whatever. Some, you know, a lot of it's worldly. It's rarely any spiritual things in there. But it ain't a real foul group. Like, I ain't seen like a whole bunch of foul, like, you know, like porn or nothing in there. I haven't seen it, rather. So I go in there every now and then. And plus, them good places to fish. You know, good place to fish. You could talk their language, get in there and fish them out. And in this particular one, somebody had put up a post with that old white lady. What was her name? Sylvia Brown, I think it was. I remember because she used to always come on the Montel Williams show talking to dead people, quote unquote. And I didn't even put the title up on it. Well, the title is Haunted Houses and, you know, Haunted Houses and Spirits and Possession. That's going to be the title. Something of that nature. I'm putting it on YouTube. So I decided to put it in the walls of Jericho so it wouldn't be a million people on here asking me questions, because I'm going to try to flow through it. But it's going straight to YouTube and it'll be up. So on the post, she said she had that picture of that lady on there, the psychic lady. And she said, do y'all believe it's possible to talk to dead people? And so I'm looking through the comments, and there was a bunch of people, you know, saying, yeah, I've seen it, I've done it, I know people done it, I've seen it, why not? You believe in God, and it should be spirits, and blah, 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 blah. But then there was a couple of people on there you could tell had some enlightenment. I think a couple of Muslim brothers was on there, and it may have been an Israelite or two on there. They didn't have any Hebrew names, but you could kind of tell from their speech. You know, and they were saying, oh, that's some folly, you know, whatever, things of that nature. Yet nobody dropped no scripture, as far as I saw. They didn't let the word of God speak in a conversation that should definitely, God should be involved, or you're going to go off. You're going to be lost. And some people think, you know, Israelites don't deal with this type of thing. We are the watchmen. We possess the oracle, so we have to know about the spiritual realm. The only difference is we don't get spooked out about it or creeped out about it, because we supposed to know what we dealing with, and we supposed to teach the people about it. If you ever notice, you rarely ever hear of Hebrew Israelites getting possessed or something of that nature. You know what I mean? It's always somebody getting possessed, and then they call in a Catholic priest, which I never understood that, because the more I watch them movies, it seemed like the demons get worse when a Catholic priest come in there. You know, I'm like, is he bringing more of them in there? You know, you don't see them really call like no Israelite in there, like even a Baptist preacher, you know, because they still Israelite by blood. You know, they don't call no black preachers up in there. Probably because they gonna run straight out the back door. But you definitely ain't finna call no Hebrew Israelite now, one that know they Israel, because they don't stand a chance with us. You know, for the simple fact, you know, that's like calling a alley mechanic to a minor key meeting, or a Ford Motor Company with auto mechanics, and you calling an alley mechanic. They'll be like, dude, you ain't on nothing. You might be somewhere you at, but not up in this realm. You know what I'm saying? So we about to deal with this real quick, because I got in that group and I dropped a scripture. Bam! I hit him with what I'm going to eventually get to here, to let them know they not talking to no dead relatives. I don't care what you saw or what you think you saw. I'm not here to dispute whether you really seen something. We've all seen some stuff throughout our life. You know, I've had some occasions in my lifetime. I lost a lot of people during my years, you know, from the lifestyle I was in, people that I loved. And I seen some things. I couldn't understand them then, but I can explain them now. Y'all feel me? And so this is what we gonna do. I'm about to show y'all something, and I'm gonna try to do this quick. I only got 8 precepts. That's 8. I only got 8. That represent the Father's kingdom too, if y'all up on that. But you know, 7 is complete, but 8 is the Father's kingdom. So that's deep. So we gonna read something real quick and see how the Lord feel about us going to these psychics, these mediums, these shamans and witch doctors, all these people that want to conjure up dead people to talk to them when they should have been going to God to get these answers. We're going to see why God has such a strong disdain for this, right? So we're going to go to the law. We're going to go to Leviticus chapter 19, right? Sisters, if you're watching, cover your head, please. Brothers, if you're watching, uncover yours. If you got some kind of different understanding, because I know it's a lot of people look at that different, then that's on you. But it's just on me to have to say that. So that ain't no debate. Do what you want to do. I just had to throw it out there. So Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 31. Let's look at this real quick, y'all. We're going to cut straight to the butt of this. It say, verse 31, regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. Now, a familiar spirit is what you would call today a psychic or somebody, a medium. Better yet, a medium. Somebody who say they talking to dead people on the other side or the afterworld. You know what I'm saying? So there's somebody with a familiar spirit. And it's funny it's called a familiar spirit. It's because it's familiar with who you think you looking for. You see what I'm saying? Why it ain't just the spirit of that person? Because it's not that person. And we're going to show you how dangerous this is and why God got such a serious gripe against people who do this. For one, it's very disrespectful to him. You're going to go to somebody that's dead. They couldn't stop themselves from dying, but you ain't going to go to the one who control life or death. And the Father himself is actually called the Father of spirits. So why you going to go to them? So it say, regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither speak after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. So that's wizards, sorcery, witches, people that get into all them little seances and say they talking to Tupac and all that kind of stuff. So let's check this out. But I want y'all to pay attention when it said you can be defiled by them. What does that mean? So can it literally, physically do something to you for dealing with these spirits? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We about to see that too. So we're going to stay in the law and we're going to go to right over to Leviticus chapter 20, right? It say verse 6. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits, there we go again, and after wizards. So who are wizards? They can come under a lot of categories, witches and all that. They must have a thing they like dealing with so-called dead people, right? To go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul and will cut him off from among his people. So God did not play with this. He's definitely a God of the living, Olivia, Israel. For sure, sis. He's a God. And that's a point I'm going to make in here too. Glad you said that. So as you see, God say he will cut you off for dealing with these spiritual mediums, psychics, and all that type of stuff. And the sad part about this, we the priest nation, our people got it bad. We love dealing with horoscopes and palm reading. I know right in Chicago, it's this spot. It's a little house. Some of y'all might know it if y'all from the Chi. It's on 87th Street. When you get past like Morgan, Racine, or somewhere up in there, right? And it's a palm reading spot. It got a big old hand on there. I never seen nobody go in and out of there, But evidently it got some business because it's been there for a long time and it's never been shut down. And every time I ride by there, I say that's a dang on shame. One of these little and it's sad because a lot of the black mom and pops companies can't survive in a black neighborhood longer than a year or two. Because people say their price is too high or something like that. You know, because of the competition with the Arabs and all that. I understand that. But a palm reading joint been in the hood for long as I can remember. I think that thing been there since I was a kid. And so that might have been 20-some years, and that thing is still there. On 87th Street, got a big old palm on it with an eye or something. You know, probably that. That's another thing, too. When you talking to these people on Facebook, and they always talking about something, well, I know, and they spell it like I, witchcraft. Witchcraft. It comes straight from the Eye Haru or the Eye Horus, ancient Egypt, which is a whole nother story. Now, a lot of them doing it just because they don't know no better. They think it's the cool thing to do. I. And they'll try to tell you, well, because there's no I in us. And I'm, no. You spelling it with an eyeball. You need to pluck the eye up out of thee for you get offended and go into the lake. Because that's talking about the Eye of Horus. Whenever you see that symbol with the eye right here, talking about your spiritual eye. No, Jesus Christ talked about a spiritual eye, but we know that's literally dealing with your mind. Them two different things. So that's just a little something, throwing something on something, since we on some spiritual stuff right now. So when you see all them just cut them off, don't even talk to them, because 9 times out of 10, them people that don't know what they be talking about, they can't break nothing down. They just spooky as hell. So yeah, as we see, it say you can be defiled for dealing with these people with familiar spirits. So we gonna see a form of this defile. We finna see exactly why the Most High has such a detest for dealing with things like this. So of course I want to go to, let me see. Oh, I know exactly where I'm gonna take this at. This real funky. Let's go see a king who pulled this, who was in God's bad grace, but it just seemed like he did everything to make it worse and worse and worse. You know, just kept making it worse, just making God mad. So we're going to go check this out. We're going to go to 1 Samuel. A lot of people familiar with this story, but let's look at it from another angle and try to apply it to today's time and show exactly how hideous this sin is, though. Like it's a real bad thing to get involved in stuff like this. So I'm gonna go to 1 Samuel chapter 28, right? 1 Samuel 28. Let's check this story out. So this was around the time the Philistines, Israel had something, you know, we stayed into it with them. And King Saul, who was our first king, who fell out of bad grace with God, basically, he got scared because he saw the Philistines gathering up, about to dry down on Israel. So, you know, he went to God, and basically God, he felt God was dissing him or whatever, you know, so left him out there to dry. So let's look at this real quick. So this 1 Samuel chapter 28, we're going to start at verse 3. Here you go. It say, now Samuel was dead. The prophet Samuel, right, had a real good name in Israel. He was one of our most he was one of our most famous prophets. Like Samuel come on deck, Joe, people start moving around because he was serious about the Lord's business, right? It say, now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented him, or lamentated, they was in mourning, and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. So Saul did some good at one time. He knew to kick all them psychics, mediums, all that, whatever you want to call them. He kicked them straight out the land. That was protocol amongst Israel. You know, when we went and set up shop, all that had to go. Sodomites too. You had to kick all the sides out the land. You had to kick out all the false idol temples out the land. But one of the main things had to go was psychics running around here. Psychics. Saul had told them they had to get up out the land. So let's skip down to verse 5. So he look good right now. So watch this. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. He got spooked. It say, and when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. And that's what the Lord normally do when he dealing with you, especially if you in a position of authority in Israel. He gonna either straight send an angel to you to talk to you. He gonna send it to you in your dream, a vision, something. Saul was just nada. He was just hearing crickets, right? But he didn't even wait that long either. Because if you go look in the past, it was people that when they didn't hear something, they fasted for a long time, for days. And then the Lord will answer them. Saul was just an impatient mog, man. Just to keep it real. He just wasn't right. He wanted stuff his way. So it said, verse 7, then said Saul unto his servants, seek me a woman that have a familiar spirit. Oh my God. Really, dude? Yeah, he said that. It's about to get worse. That I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said to him, behold, there is a woman that have a familiar spirit in Endor. Now this is funny because I noticed two things in this. His servants automatically didn't ask no questions, say, hey Saul, man, you tripping, Joe. You know how the Lord is about that. They just didn't without question. They told him exactly where this chick was at. So they knew she was still in there. Remember, all of them was supposed to be kicked out. But you know how that go. She probably laid low. She probably stopped dealing in that type of stuff out of fear. And we gonna see it later in this conversation. But you know, you a king. You got people that's in towns, cities, and stuff like that. They gonna hide them connects. They gonna know who is who and what is what, right? So they told him, hey king, we know this chick over here, man. She used to deal in that type of stuff. I'm pretty sure she can call somebody up. So watch this. It say verse 8. And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment. And he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. So Saul then dressed up like probably like a little bum or something, because he was a king. So, you would spot him a mile away, he gonna come luxurious. But no, he's dressed up like a little regular person and tried to slip in at nighttime so wouldn't nobody notice it was him. So evidently a lot of people probably knew, yeah, that's the creepy chick on the block that deal with that stuff. And they see Saul going in there like, what's going on? Israel gonna snitch. Everybody ain't gonna be with the king. So look, here it goes. So verse 9, it say, and the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits, and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die? So this woman ain't stupid. She like, man, and now he in disguise, so she don't know this Saul. So she like, hold on, man, you don't know King Saul, man. He ain't gonna play, man. He kicked all them out. And now you trying to put me on blast and say, man, call up a spirit for you trying to get me killed. That's what she said. You trying to put a snare on my life. You trying to trap me. That's what a snare is. You trying to get me killed, right? It say, so verse 10, and Saul sware to her by the Lord, saying, as the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. That should make her antenna go up. Like, who this cat is, he got juice like that. But it's about to, too. Watch this. Then said the woman, who shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel. You knew the train was finna come. But y'all don't go nowhere. Just let him go on, flap the air. Yeah, y'all can hear me. So he said, yeah. So he told her, he said, bring me up Samuel, right? So watch this. Verse 12. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. So now she know it's him. She like, hold on, man. You want me to call up Samuel? Man, you Saul, man. Why you playing games? You can trick me, so you finna kill me, right? So here you go. Now watch this. Verse 13. It say, and the king said unto her, be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. So now he like, look, man, don't be scared. Just tell me what you saw. What vision did you just see? Tell me what you saw. She said she seen gods rising up out of the earth, or meaning spirits. Or if you go to like, what's that, Psalms 82, 83, we like to say, did not say that you are gods, you die like men. That was also terms used for Israel at the time too. A lot of people don't know that. See, that's some other stuff I don't want to get all off into. But let's just keep it on this, right? So it say, it's verse 14. And he said unto her, what form is he of? And she said, an old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived, that's what I want y'all to pay attention to. Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. Now I want y'all to keep in mind, it says Saul perceived that it was Samuel. Because when people like to go here, I've seen some Israelites try to go here to say, see, people can communicate when they dead and all that. No, he perceived it was Saul. So the rest of this conversation, Samuel. So the rest of this conversation is going to talk as though it is Samuel. But we going to find out what it really was. And it's only two options. One of them ain't Samuel. So it says, and Saul perceived that it was Samuel. And he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And verse 15. And Samuel said, or the perceived Samuel, familiar spirit, and Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Now you hear that? So this perceived Samuel, which is going to show you, is a spirit. It can only be one of two things. A Holy Spirit, an angel, coming in the image of what he asked for. Is it like people always say, well, you know, I seen my dead uncle in my dreams, or I seen him sitting in my kitchen one day and I talked to him, and I always tell him, I said, man, how you know that wasn't an angel? I said, you don't want to see what an angel really look like. So for one, if they trying to communicate with you, if they don't want to scatter pants off you, they gonna come looking like somebody you familiar with, so you will receive the message. Or it's an unholy spirit or a fallen angel coming to deceive you in something that you comfortable with. One or two options, but we're gonna narrow them down according to the book. Like I said, I only got 8 precepts. Now watch this. It's gonna tell us exactly what this was. So it said, okay, answer me no more. Right, it say verse 16. Then said Samuel, wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing that the Lord is departed from thee and has become thine enemy? Ooh, so whatever his spirit is that he thought was Samuel even checked him. He said, man, if God did turn on you, what you calling me up for? Let's read that again. He said, then said Samuel, wherefore then doest thou ask of me, seeing that the Lord is departed from thee and has become your enemy? God mad at you, dude. What you calling me for? What I'm gonna do for you? I'm just a dead person as you think or you perceive. Watch this. Skip down to verse 18. Because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executest his fierce wrath upon Amalek, which is one of Edom descendants, right? Therefore have the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. So even if this is a fallen angel or unclean spirit, he got enough sense to know, look, dude, you done messed up with God. Yeah, you about to get it. I don't know what you calling me for. Cause we already promised to get our butts kicked in a minute. So we can't do nothing about it. So I definitely can't help you. Skip to verse 20. Then Saul fell straightway all along on the earth and was sore afraid. because of the words of Samuel, and there was no strength in him, for he had eaten no bread all day nor night. So now he done went into a funk. He know the gig is up. Oh man, I done called up this whatever I thought I was calling up Samuel, and I know something ain't right. I know God know about it. I know he see me. See, you can hide from people with clothes on and cloak in, but you can't hide from God. So he know God gonna know about this, because whatever spirit it is, 100 out of 100 they gonna tell. That's how God connected with them. They can't do nothing without him knowing about it, right? So remember it said earlier when I read, it said if you deal with people with familiar spirits, you will be defiled. Saul is defiled now. If he wasn't defiled before, he's defiled now. And so I want to look at something real quick. Check this out. And this something that was on my mind, but we just gonna reiterate and see how God ain't gonna forget about this. Out of all the bad stuff Saul did, this really vexed the Most High. So we gonna go to First Chronicles. Just go right on over a couple of books after Kings. First Chronicles, right? And let's look at this real quick. Just reaffirm one of the reasons Saul got killed was because that little shenanigan he just pulled. So First Chronicles chapter 10. That's where we gonna go. And we're going to go to verse 13. And let's see what it say. It say, so Saul died for his transgression, which he committed against the Lord, even against the word of the Lord, which he kept not. And also for asking counsel of one that had a familiar spirit to inquire of it. You see that? So already the charges he had on him for other stuff Saul was doing. But they specifically let you know one of the reasons the Lord killed Saul, he was marked for death, was when he went and consulted with that psychic or that medium or that fortune teller, whatever you want to call it, that called up Samuel. But as we just read, it says Saul perceived it was Samuel. He called up an unclean spirit. It was either an unclean fallen spirit or, you know, an angel that came in the form of that and tricked him. I go with the first one that I said, unclean spirit. I'm going to show you why. So let me read the next verse. And it says, and inquired not of the Lord. Therefore he slew him and turned the kingdom unto David, the son of Jesse. See, God got a real problem with that. It say you inquired of that which was in the law against the word of God not to do. But not only that, but you went to a dead prophet instead of going to the living God. So he killed him. That's disrespectful as heck to the Most High. So we got to learn from this, if nothing else, because Israel be getting into a lot of enchantment theyself. You know what I'm saying? Just look around. You will definitely see it in Israel. So let's just see how much the Most High got a disdain for this. So let's go to the prophet Isaiah and look at a little something that was quoted in here, right? So we're going to go to Isaiah chapter 8 real quick. Isaiah chapter 8 real quick. Because it was on my spirit, man, when I seen that this morning. I'm like, man, you know, I was just shocked because it was one of them posts that had like hundreds of people on there. And I'm like, did nobody post no Bible scripture? And this one sister got on there and said, yeah, that makes sense. I can see that. And I said, I'm glad you got your spiritual eye on here. Somebody. So I reached one person out of probably 200-300 people. But that's good. I hurry up and befriended her. You know what I mean? And she jumped straight on my page. So praise God to that. So Isaiah chapter 8. Let's look at this. Let's see something that was quoted in here that really caught my eye. I'm in the wrong one. I'm in 18. Isaiah 8, and we're going to go to verse 19. Look at this, y'all. Pay close attention to this. It say, and when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep, and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their God? That's a question mark. For the living to the dead? You hear that? It says, so beware the people that's going to tell you, man, look, you know, I know somebody, man, you know, he could talk, you know, he you know, he could talk to spirits and stuff like that to get you up out of jam. Because see, Lord kind of showed me something with this too, reading this Isaiah. You see a lot of stuff in here, prophecy talking around that time of the Great Tribulation too. It's going to be real hectic. It's going to be real hectic around that time. And those that ain't lined up with the God or riding with that abomination, they got the marks, they going to be looking for all kind of ways to get up out their situation. So they going to be calling on all type of people. And that's what you definitely don't need to be doing. But look, let's read it again. It says, when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and mutter, shall not a people seek unto their God for the living to the dead? So if you want to know something about the dead, why don't you go to God? God already told you what's going on with the dead. You go to God. Why on earth is you going to try to go to the dead, or the people that's dying, or the people that's about to die? The whole message in all of this that we reading is go to God for the answers. Leave dead people where they at, and they dead. Read the next verse. It say, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So when you in that time of distress, you better go to somebody that know that word of God. Let them quote the knowledge about this book that's going to save your life, because it's going to get real hectic out there. It say, if they trying to tell you to go to some psychic or some, you know, some wisdom man or woman or whatever, it ain't no light in them. They ain't speaking according to the law and the testimony, the old and the new. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Don't let them fool you. Let's go to the next verse, 21. And they shall pass through it hardly bestead and hungry. And it shall come to pass that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king and their God and look upward. And you can actually see a little hint of that in Revelation chapter 6. 16. That's what kind of made me think that this is really going to be going on a big scale around the time of the Great Tribulation. But we'll deal with that one day. Verse 22. And they shall look unto the earth, and behold, trouble and darkness, dimness of anguish, and they shall be driven to darkness. So these people that's running around here dealing with familiar spirits and psychics and all that, depending on them, instead of going to God or somebody that got the word of God that can show you in this book all of the warnings and the signs, it say it's going to be dark and dimish and gloomy to them on this earth. Meaning they going to die. It's going to be bad for them. So stay away from them. You don't want no pods in them whatsoever. Y'all feel me? So we got them 3 spots right there. And like I said, I only got 8 precepts, so that was 4. And in fact, that was 5 or 6. I'm tripping. I ain't trying to keep count. But let's pay attention to this real quick. So that leads me to this next thing right here, because the reason we know for a fact that that was not Samuel, watch this right here. And this is why I say it was them fallen angels, them ones that God keep telling us, somebody got a familiar spirit, do not deal with them. Because what you gonna conjure up is gonna get you in some serious trouble. Let's go to 2 Peter. We're gonna go to 2 Peter real quick and see exactly where these cats chilling at right now. Read one spot, 2 Peter chapter 2, and verse 4. It say, for if God spared not the angels that sinned, them the fallen angels, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto the judgment. That's where they at. These fallen angels is around us right now under chains of darkness. That's why when you see the stories of the haunted houses and stuff, I ain't laughing at nobody saying, you ain't heard something. It ain't something going on in this house. It's something in that house side. But if you ever notice, it's usually a bunch of boots running across upstairs. You hear feet running around. You hear stuff kicking, but you don't see nothing. You hear voices. Why? They under chains of darkness. They under chains of darkness. I guess evidently they can peek the head out there now and then. That's why people see some stuff. But for the most part, they're under chains of darkness. You know why? The Lord know if he did not, and I thank God that the spiritual realm, you know, that they under chains of darkness, because we would go crazy. We would be dead, half of us, from being petrified. If you could see these spirits, how they really look, angels walking around, especially them evil angels, you know, we see the descriptions of some of the angels. I don't know if they still look the exact same when they went to the other side, but even the holy angels scared the bejesus out of people. So imagine what them little wicked ones will do to you. So he got them under chains of darkness so you don't lose your mind. Don't it make sense? And so that's why when people hide these haunted houses and stuff, you hear boots running around in chains and boo, but you normally don't see nothing. You know, like I said, now and then, you know, like I say, probably peek the head out of something, how the Lord do that. But what we do know is, for sure, them ain't no dead people. That ain't nobody that ever lived. Them is them spirits that been around since the beginning of time, that know your whole life story. If they know your whole life story, they can come in the image of your dead father or your dead mother and tell and show you everything y'all ever did, and they got you. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Lord said don't deal with that. And I'm pretty sure if the Most High want to deliver a message to you, he could come in the form of somebody that you familiar with. You know, like I said, because if an angel show you he an angel, you can read through the book where people seen angels the way they look, and they was, woo! You know, some tough dudes that got loose bladders seeing angels just pop up on them in their regular form. That's why when he sent them on earth like Sodom and Gomorrah, they had to look like men to blend in, because you know them cats would have got little soon as they seen these cats walking around, wings sticking out, eyes, and head can turn around and fake. Man, please. You know what I'm saying? And some of them got calves feet. So, you know, they ain't even around there with no jumpers on. They ain't got the new kicks. They got hooves. Man, you will lose your mind. You see something like that stumping. Ain't no telling how tall they is. They just come stomping through your gangway. And you think you gonna sit there cool and be like, yes, an angel of the Lord. Man, please. You gonna blow the whole mission God had for you, because you gonna be running. Or you just gonna die from fright. So it's a reason God do things the way he do it. And that's another reason Israel get hit so hard with a lot of these natural disasters, man, because we got this boogity boo stuff bad. From the voodoo to the hoodoo and the you-do and the YouTube and all that type of stuff that we like to deal around with. The Most High said we the priests, man, nation. That goes for us and our prophetess that we got in Israel. We ain't supposed to be dealing with nothing but the Most High, because it's above all the stuff that's under there. All that stuff up under there ain't gonna do nothing to get you in trouble. You deal with the Most High, you got power and dominion over all of these spiritual worlds, the seen and the unseen, man. This is a fact. And so as we see, they under chains of darkness. So that's what Samuel was dealing with. That's exactly what Samuel was dealing with. And it make a whole lot of sense. And that's why God say, don't play around with this type of stuff. So just to confirm it, I want to show something else too. Because, you know, we see the movies and hear the stories of the people that's being possessed by demons or fallen angels or whatever you want to call them. They be possessed, right? And, you know, you got to ask yourself, if you can be defiled by these unclean spirits or these familiar spirits, what you think they gonna do? Once you defiled, they probably just follow you around and haunt you. Like the term poltergeist and that movie Insidious. This type of stuff got realism to it. And that's why the Lord he forbid us for it. If it wasn't no threat, or if it didn't exist, he wouldn't even say nothing about it. He'd be like, okay, let the witch chill. It ain't no thing. Let the witch chill over there, the wizard. And you know, you can hire you a little, you know, pointy hat man chilling in your house and all. No, he said don't hide them around you, period. They playing with fire. So I want to go to Matthew chapter 8 real quick and show you what I mean by like possession though. You know, all this stuff is in the book. Like real talk. We don't have to go to no ancient Chinese secret. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that they know more about the spiritual realm than Israel do. No, they don't. It's just that we don't let that type of stuff ooh and ah us. We're not supposed to, because then we give it power instead of having power over it. And that's just the blunt reality of it. So we're going to look at Matthew chapter 8. Look at the quick story real quick. Y'all all familiar with it. But now let's look at it from what we just got edification on, God willing. I'm going to start at verse 28. It say, and when he was come to the other side into the country of Gergesenes, I'm usually good with these words, whatever. Y'all can go and tell me later. Gergesenes, whatever. There met him two possessed with devils, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. So these dudes was amped up on unclean spirits. Like this was like steroids time 1,000. So these unclean spirits is following this cat around. They following him around, these two cats, driving them crazy, right? Watch this. So they gave him super strength. So watch this. It say, and behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God? Art thou come here to torment us before our time? So these two dudes possessed by spirits. Could they be defiled? Ain't no telling it. Don't say. You can only speculate as to how them spirits got on them. Well, maybe it do say. But what I do know is they probably went to a psychic or something. Ain't no telling. Probably dealt with something like that, then opened up the door, and now they is possessed with these joints. So Jesus had to come through like the Ghostbusters. And as soon as they synced them, they was like, oh man, you done came to torment us before our time. You know, at the end when he gonna throw Satan into the lake of fire with his angels and all that. That's what they talking about. See, they know book. They know prophecy. They know what's gonna happen to them. So this is what you would call a possession. Or you see them bogus Catholic priests that I think bring more demons in that was there before they came, when they come give you an exorcism. Jesus give you the real exorcism. You see what I'm saying? You see it right now. He ain't have to do all that in the name, big all you. Big all. Jesus ain't have to do all that. They seen him coming and got little. But they tried to get little. We're going to see what they asked him to do. He say, and there was a good way off from them a herd of many swine feeding. So the devils besought him, saying, if thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine. And he said unto them, go. Y'all peep that? All Jesus said was, go. But when you see in them exorcism movies, oh, in his name, you know, they do all that. Then they go over to Latin, and that just say, I know that's bringing more demons. Every time I hear that music and see Catholic priests, I get the gabooba boops. That is just horrible. It's creepy. But all Jesus said was go. Look, it literally just got one big go. Right? Not all that other stuff they be doing. Splashing holy water on you. You know what I'm saying? Flies flying around the room, landing on your eye. Watch this. And when they would come out, they went into the herd of swine. And behold, the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep place into the sea and perished in the waters. So, as we see, this kind of stuff is real. But it goes back to what initiates this. Don't deal with people who is on that. If they talking about they're psychic, they're medium, I don't care if they're a medium, if they're extra medium or large or extra large, don't deal with them. If it ain't a priest of the Most High God taking you to this book, giving you some words of wisdom, anointing you with some oil or something like that, praying with you, don't deal with it. You gonna just open up the door for some more spooky stuff that's gonna either drive you insane, defile you, get you cut off by the Lord, kill you, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So this is real deal here, the spiritual realm. We the priests. You know, I still ain't got my house blessed yet. I could do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna probably get some elders to come do it for me one day. But I ain't really in no rush. I pray every day. I face the east few times a day. So I know that alone is bringing a presence in here. But ain't nothing wrong with upping the ante. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with upping the ante. I might get the commandments over the doorposts and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I just do that. I can get real spiritual, whether y'all know it or not. So I want to look at this one last thing to confirm everything we just read. Everything. And this is why it is so wicked to try to talk to the dead or take somebody or go to somebody who master in talking to dead folks. I'm about to tell you right now. And this gonna make everything I just read 100% fact that those images or people that you see or think you saw, like Saul thought he saw Samuel, are unclean spirits. That's what they are. And about to confirm it out the wisest man that ever lived. And we're going to go to King Solomon. And you know he know about that stuff. Because even when he knew about it, he still wound up tripping. You know what I'm saying? But he had knowledge of that to a degree that ain't none of us know. None of us. None of us alive. So I'm going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9, y'all. And let's look at this and read this real slow. We read this before, but now this just make everything clear we just read. So here we go. It say verse 5. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything. Neither have they any more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Did y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? The dead don't know nothing. Absolutely nothing. And they thoughts perish. It say they ain't got no more love. They ain't got no more none. Matter of fact, we gonna read all that. Let me back up to verse 4. Because I'm finna go out with this. So let's go out real with clarity. It say, for to him that is joined to all the living, there is hope. So while you alive is hope, y'all. But look at this. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. Now we know how much stronger a lion is than a dog. A lion will chew a dog up. But it say if that dog is alive and that lion dead, give me that dog. Because that dog still got some value on this earth. That lion is just a dead lion now. His time passed. So to be honest with you, the dog is stronger than the lion now. So now let's read that again. Verse 5. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything. Neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. So they forgot their memory. So when them people dead and somebody tell you Uncle such and such, Uncle Charlie was looking over me and he told me something in the basement one day, that ain't him. That ain't him. His memory is dead. It's dead. His memory don't know nothing. It's forgotten until he's waking back up. That's what the book tells us. That's what the Most High is telling us. Y'all see what I'm saying? And plus you got to think about this. Let me read this part. Verse 6. Also their love, their hatred, and their envy is now perished. That just killed dead people haunting your house. Because, man, there's always some angry ghosts in there. Ooh, get out of my house. Their hate is gone. They ain't got nothing to be envious about. That's envy, too. Why are you mad because this man live in his house? When you lived here, evidently you died. You ain't do too good. So why is it always an angry, mad, or envious ghost in there when it just told you when people die, the envy and hate and they love gone? So this kills your loved ones coming back and helping you. You know you hear them stories. Oh man, I won the lottery because my auntie gave me this image in my head. No, she didn't. Her love is not even around right now because she sleep until the day of judgment. See what I'm saying? And then if you ever notice why your loved ones don't ever come when you getting raped or when you getting shot or when your wife or your husband committing adultery with the mailman or the next door neighbor, why they don't never come then? Like they don't never come when no bad stuff happening. They only come to tell you good stuff. See what I'm saying? It's all a deception, man. And we the priests, we possess the oracles. We supposed to know better. And so to end it all, it says, and also their love and their hatred and their envy is now perished. Neither have there any more a portion forever in anything that is done under the sun. So they ain't coming back out the ground until the resurrection. They ain't got no power under the sun while they dead. None whatsoever. The only thing that's out there is them familiar spirits that you do not want to be dealing with. So to all yous right, I want to tell y'all, don't let them get you in the spookism and all that type of stuff. Yes, things do exist. We know that from just the little precepts that we read. But what we do know is we got the power through the Most High to subdue any wicked, unclean spirit by the power of the Most High God, Christ, and the Holy Spirit that brings us knowledge. And so I'm going to go back and check out these comments, and then I'm logging back out of Facebook because there's too much goofiness going on. So I will only be on here just to, like I say, this is going straight to YouTube. So when I put it on YouTube, I'm going to put it on my wall, and I'm going to put it in this group. And I ask y'all to share the YouTube version wherever y'all can. Love y'all. Shalom, shalom. Peace.